Hello Stampers, here's another fun card that I made with the Gathering Moments bundle. This is a stamp set. It's got some really nice sentiments in there and some beautiful distinctive stamps. And I also used the dies for this card to cut out the leaves. So those are the littler dies up there, and you'll see when I get to them. Just really enjoyed playing with this stamp set. So the first thing that you want to do is we're going to start with the designer series paper from the Gathering Together coordinating paper, and there's 6 double-sided sheets. I seem to be missing the 6th one. Got 5 of them here, but you can see they're gorgeous. Flip over to the other side, and oh, there's the 6th one. It was just hiding. Super pretty. I had a lot of fun, like I said, playing with this, and I've used a ton of the paper already because it's so gorgeous. So first thing I did was took 2 sheets, 2 different colors. Actually, it's the same color, the same piece of designer series paper, and I cut it out, first of all, with the textured note dies. So I cut 2 of them exactly the same size. And to do that, you're just going to take 2 pieces of the cardstock and make sure that you flip them like this. Now, the reason you're going to do this is because now you're going to get 2 cards out of this. You're going to take this piece and put it there, and this piece and put it there. So you're not wasting paper, and also that way the cute little hashtags are showing up on the right side instead of the flip side, which is not quite as pretty. All right, so there you're going to actually get 2 cards, like I said. I took a piece of early espresso cardstock and cut it 4 1/4 by 11, and then I scored it in the middle. So now we have 2 of those. And we're going to go ahead and glue these on since it's all sitting right here. And for this, I really like to use the mono adhesive. Liquid glue works great, especially because you can kind of wiggle stuff around a little. So this needs to be pretty close to the right-hand side. There's going to be a bigger margin on the top and bottom than the side, because this isn't, because that's just how the die cut it out. So there you go. And then I want to have a little showing in the middle, but it looks like I wonder if this is still, yeah, I should have shoved it over a little more, but whatever. So it looks like there's a bigger margin on the right than the left. I'll do a better job on the next one, which is here. You always want to make sure your fold's going the right way, by the way. It's really easy to do it backwards. All right, there, that's probably going to be better. Oh, and by the way, so you cut this out and then you cut up at 1 1/4 inches here. Yeah, I'm going to be able to tell. You cut it you put a pencil 1 1/4 inches and then you cut it to the corner. I didn't really mention that, but that's how you do it. Actually, I don't know. I think I said 1 1/4. It's 1 1/2 inches, not 1 1/4. Oh my gosh. 1 1/2 inches to the corner. All right, but here we want a little gap there. I did a lot better job on this one. So once again, the margin's a little higher on the top and the bottom. And that's intentional because that's the size of it. So then I used the Everyday Arches die set, which has been really hard for Stampin' Up! To keep in the store. I used these 3rd and 4th size one and cut out white little white arches. This one I managed to get ink on, so I actually have two, so we'll do that. And I took two of the sentiments from the stamp set Gathering Moments. This one expressing heartfelt gratitude. I'm going to use early espresso. That's hard. Expressing and espresso is sort of hard to say. All right, this one's a little bit bigger, so I'm going to use the bigger die for that. And I'm going to kind of put it in the bottom. So it's intentionally down towards the bottom with a little more space up top because I'm going to be putting leaves up there. All right, so I'll set that aside. And on the smaller arch, which is the third size in, I'm going to do many thanks. And I think I'm going to do the same thing. Let me think about this. I'm going to put this one on this card because I want to put the leaves over here. This one, I want to put the leaves over here, so I'm going to put it towards the top. On the arch. Because I'll be putting leaves down at the bottom. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and leave this open. I'm going to push these aside for a minute, and I'm going to stamp the rest of this. Of course, I just managed to lose all my little white scraps. Here we go, white scraps. All right, so we're going to do 2 mushrooms. These are so cute. Love these stamps. See how that does? It's called a distinctive stamp set, and it intentionally gives it that darker area and lighter area. It's just amazing how these stamps work. And I'm going to use Old Olive for the leaves because that's what coordinates with the paper. And then for the big leaf, I'm going to do Cajun Craze. Hopefully there's enough room on this paper for that. If you notice, I'm not stamping them too close because you want to be able to die cut it out. Okay, I don't like how that one turned out, so I'm not going to use that one. Try it again. I'm just going to stamp it on here just to make sure. Sometimes it takes just a practice stamp before it looks good. Let's use the other side. Oh, there's just stuff everywhere. All right, there's that one. And this one. Okay, perfect. All right, so now I'm going to bring in my, I was going to use my mini machine, but I think I'm going to use my big machine because I want to try to cut them all at once. And I know I'm going to have a hard time with the little one. So let me do that. Okay, so I'm going to put this on, these two, and I'm going to get the dies out. The mushroom, very cute. I have glue on my finger, so of course it's, there we go, not there. And then the big leaf, the maple leaf. There we go. Now some people would tape these down so they don't wiggle, but I don't usually take that extra step. But if you have a hard time with it wiggling, you can definitely tape it down with some washi tape or removable tape. See, that one is going to be a little off, but I'm not that particular. It'll look good. So we got 3 of them done. and I'll just go ahead and pull them off. Reposition them. Of course, the challenge with doing so many at once when your board's a little warped like mine is it will wiggle, but I think it's going to stay in place. And so these plates, they just do get warped, but I just keep using mine until they break. And as long as you keep moving stuff around, it doesn't get warped too bad. You can see mine is a little warped. But I use mine for Stamp Club, and when you have a lot of people using your stuff, they're not tending to move, they're not realizing where it was used the last time, so they're not really moving it around. So mine probably get warped worse than most people's, but when I stamp, I try to move stuff around and kind of straighten them back out again. So if you're really careful, you can keep them from getting warped, but they're still perfectly usable warped. So there you go. I'm going to zoom back in a little. And all right, we are ready to decorate these cards. And like I said, I did the mini things up here because I wanted to kind of have the leaves down here, not on the leaf paper, so it's not so busy. And I think, so you can kind of decide, I think I'm going to kind of put it like that. And maybe I'll center it like that. All right, so you can just like move stuff around and kind of decide where you want it before you put glue on it. See how it looks the best to you, and there's no right answer. It's really just what looks good to you. It doesn't have to look just like mine. It's your piece of artwork, so you can do however you want to. Then I'm going to put these 3 leaves on. All right, so I like that. And here, I'm going to have a little gap between this because I'm going to put the mushroom in between. Really think this mushroom is so cute. Let's see, I got a boo-boo there, so that's where this is going to go, right on top of my boo-boo. Not sure how I did that. Somehow I got some Cajun craze on my fingers or something. And then the last thing I want to do is take these cute little stickers. Are called pressed flower motifs. They're not stickers. They're like, I can't even think what they're called. It just went out of my brain, but you know what they are. And I'm going to put 3 of those on. So you always want to kind of want to do a visual triangle, and you want to work in odd numbers. So there's 1, and 2 will go there, and 3 will go. I'll put it right there. All right, so there's the first one done. And then the other one, expressing heartfelt gratitude. Really like the sentiments in this stamp set. I think they're really nice and useful. All right, I'm going to go just a little bit high. And I think I'll do this one on the side instead of across the bottom like I did on the other one. So once again, I'm kind of getting it away from the leaf paper, so it's just not so busy. I'm going to go there, and thinking kind of across the top. like that. And then put the mushroom. I don't know. Yeah, I think like that. And once again, there's just no right answer. You just have to decide what looks good to your eye. That looks good to my eye, so that's where it's going. And I'm going to use the pressed flower motifs again. Well, it stuck to my finger, so I'm going to just put it on. And I'm going to use 2 big ones this time. I must have a lot of glue on my hands because it's just coming right off on my finger. Yep, there we go. Okay. I don't like it on my finger because I can't see where I'm going with it. There we go. I think right there. All right, there you go. These are the 2 cards. The original ones I used Your Friendship Means the World to Me and Many Thanks, which Your Friendship Means the World to Me is also from that stamp set. Then I used another piece of cardstock or DSP, and that also super pretty too. And for this one, I did the arch up and vertically, and I used one of the word sayings from the You Are Remarkable, which was an online exclusive in the spring. I forget exactly when. Really fun stamp set. So thank you for watching my video. Please like and subscribe to my channel and have a great day.